Okay, I just stepped out of the gym and I'm all red because I stopped mid-workout because I just have something on my heart that I really need to get out. So here it goes. I'm in there and I'm looking at the TV and it's talking about Epstein Files, right? And just the bead that I get on the temperature I get on the internet is that everybody's so shocked at the Epstein Files and outraged and how could we let them get away with this? How are they doing this? And it's okay. And there's no justice and just all in an outrage. And we should be. I'm not saying that's wrong. But here's the thing that's ironic. We look at these people in power or in circles that we are not in, the upper circles or the elite, and we call out their sins. We call out their wickedness. And we clutch our pearls at the thought of, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they would be like this or do this. These people with all this power and money, that get bored because they've exhausted all options, kind of like Solomon. So they start exploring other areas like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. Right? But we're not looking at ourselves. We're not looking at our own wickedness as people. We are all wicked. And leadership reflects the people it leads. So if you have wicked people, you're going to get wicked leadership. So y'all, what you're seeing is just a product of our hearts and the state of our minds. And I include myself in this, by the way, because this is the realization that I have come to. Let me collect myself. Because I have contributed to the wickedness in this world. I have contributed to the evil and the rebellion against God as part of mankind, all right? I am not exempt, but I stand here having turned away from things, having repented and made effort to change my lifestyle and my mind and my habits and my priorities, which is all within my control and which Jesus tells us that we need to be doing. Before we start calling out these people and clutching our pearls, we need to really look at the state of ourselves and the people around us. Because what I see is a bunch of wickedness and sin in the people around me. I see wickedness and sin in the churches. I see people dressing like porn stars when they go to church. I see parents giving their children phones at ridiculously early ages, and it's like they're not even thinking about what's on a phone, what you can access. I mean, whatever you as an adult are accessing, that's what they can access. Parental controls are not doing anything. There are ways around those things. You have children losing their innocence at such an early age. You have young teenagers hitting puberty, knowing more about sex, experiencing way more than most adults should ever experience in their lifetime. And this is before they even hit the age of 15 to 20. Like, this is happening in our country. My now 12-year-old son is coming home from a church function, and he's talking about girls around his age behind him that were sitting on the bus to the function, talking about watching a man pleasure himself on their phone in a church function behind him on the bus. This is the country we're living in, and we're staring at the Epstein Files and we're like, oh, how could somebody act like this? Come on, guys, we got to get a grip. Get a grip. We as a country, we want our sin, but we want godly characters in our leadership. We want to cling to our sin, but we want godly leadership. You cannot have it both ways. It is impossible to have it both ways. All right? The godly and the holy and the righteous should at least match the evil, if not be more than the evil, for a country or a state or an economy or a city or a community to be functioning in a thriving way. It just is what it is. Take it or leave it, like it or not, that's how life works. We are not like that. America is not like that. Look at your own heart. Look at your own heart. Look at your own priorities. Look at your own actions. We are selfish. We are sinful. We are chasing after what we desire and what we want. We are alcoholics. We are smokers. We are porn addicts. We are horrible parents. We are horrible in church, and we're horrible out of church. We're horrible at our jobs. We're horrible. And you want good leadership, and you want godliness to come from that. You expect godliness to come from that. That's insane. That's insane. It's not possible. It is not possible. So, what is a product of sin? If everyone is wicked, what is the outcome of that? What is the trajectory of that? Logically speaking, scientifically speaking, historically speaking, what is the trajectory of that? If we want to sit in our self-denial and think, well, we will recover. Will we? If we're not even working on our own hearts and our own homes, how are we going to recover? If we don't even hit that realization as at least a partial majority, at least 45%, we're not going up, guys. Our trajectory is down. Our trajectory is judgment. Our trajectory is death, because the wages of sin is death. All right. And if as a collective we are rolling in sin, then the wages of that is death. 1 + 1 = 2. And in the spiritual world, there's mathematical principles as well. In the Old Testament, whenever judgment would come about, there's a lot of times when God would say, and then you will know that I, the Lord, am God. So at some point, people are going to understand that these spiritual principles apply, even if you want to be in denial, even if you want to pretend that God doesn't exist. You're just going to be up for a rude awakening. That's what you're going to be in for, is a rude awakening. So I'm just floored. I'm floored that we could think that godliness could spring forth from dirt and filth. You know, not to mention that everywhere I go, I'm seeing trannies and gay people. Like, come on. Romans 1. There's a ton of verses in the Bible that talk about that being all over, not just Old Testament. Come on, guys. Also, the old are not teaching the young anymore. Old people, and if you're exempt from this, then you know you are. But you also can look around and see that you are in the minority. Old people, you're not teaching young people. Parents, you are not being parents. You're being selfish. I'm being selfish, self-centered, narcissistic. Prioritizing what I want over the good of my children and the other generations to come. And we want to run around and call ourselves Christians? Like, that is just downright disgusting and disturbing. Let the sword fall and split. Let it split, people. Let it split. And I don't mean that physically, I mean that spiritually. There are lines in the sand, and we in America have blurred them so terribly and completely polluted anything sacred. And then we expect good to come from that. Well, I'm sorry, but it's not going to. It's not going to. And the most that we can do now in this country is to get our own crap straight.